Leslie and I have known each other since early childhood. We grew up on the same country road in Mississippi.
I think why we're good for the community of Mississippi is because we're a product of this community. We are just two country guys, and we were embedded with what I call the diamonds of good character.
Come, join the family, and help us build the community.
Welcome, family, Urban Law family. I give you guys a chance to come on in, and don't worry, my partner will be here any second now to join me, and we are going to get started with this Good Friday. In fact, I think he's here. Let's get him in the room. There he is. What's happening, Charles?
What's up, Leslie?
What's going on, man? You eased in there like, no, not like Robin, not even like Batman. That was like Superman, like right on time, man.
Been a long day, brother.
Tell me about it. So, listen up. It's Friday. We've been in our basic series, really dealing with the basics, and today it's appropriate that we deal with back to school, because although it is back to school time, that's a basic thing that we have to do all the time. The reality is there's never been a time like now. There's never been a time where we've had to deal with stuff as we're dealing with it today. And so I think it's appropriate that we talked about back to school in the wake of COVID, what that means, let's try to get some calm to parents, to family, to their concerns right now, because I don't think in my lifetime, I know I've never lived in a time where I've had as much anxiety about back to school as I have right now. So why don't you kick us off, Charles? And first, start by giving us the latest numbers or the latest news as you know it, as related to COVID-19 in the state of Mississippi.
I know Mississippi is over 1,000 again today. Death rates are increasing steadily. I also know that school has started, and I know that basically the first case, test case county school district in Mississippi is up in the northeast corner. Corcoran School District has over 100 kids in quarantine right now. So if there's any indication as to how this is about to go, God help us all.
So wait a minute. Yeah, I did hear about that. And school has just started. Was that the first week of school? Did they?
I think that's by the middle of the second or third week.
All right, Charles, give us some calm in the midst of this storm.
Some calm is hopefully parents have been watching and understanding that we've tried to tell you choose the homeschooling option, basically internet that's offered by your school district, because as far as extracurricular activity goes, as far as all of those things go, it's quite a bit to account for. I mean, because you can't account for your children, and here I'm putting this in the chat room for everybody, and you'll see it, what I was talking about. Not only are 100 kids in quarantine, but it's affecting 2 sports teams because they're trying to practice. Everything that we talked about is happening right now. Teachers are at risk, administrators are at risk, children are at risk, families are at risk, staff is at risk. That means you have to bus them, you've got to feed them, you've got to teach them, and then you got to send them home and start over again the next morning. That's an uncontrolled environment, and it basically presents a fertile ground for COVID. You may want to put that up on the screen so everybody can see it, just so we can talk about it, because this is what we're getting ready to experience.
this.
Don't take
Including members of 2 sports teams.
Right. Don't take my word for it. I'm just giving you what I'm seeing based off of what I felt and what we've discussed as far as warnings for parents all along. And it's my understanding that in Georgia, the children that reported on their first day, and they've been suspended for posting that picture of the hallways being jam-packed. 5 days.
Wait a minute. Wait just 1 minute. Let me hold on. I didn't hear what you said. Hold on. I sometimes I'm a little short of hearing. Say that again. Did I just hear you say that the kids that posted the picture of the hallways being jam-packed and very few people wearing a mask have been suspended from school?
Yeah, that's what I said to you.
What grounds?
Well, here we go.
Where did I miss that? Where's the grounds to do that?
4 hours ago. 4 hours ago, it was reversed. Now, I want you to put this up so you can see what these parents are getting into when they start talking about going back to school, because these schools are not ready. Their plans are not ready. Look at this picture. But yeah, you suspend the whistleblowers. All they're doing is shedding light on the situation. So they were suspended for 5 days, but it looks like because of the sunlight that was shed on the situation and the outcry from the community, all they did was inform by taking a picture. So they reversed that in the last 4 hours. But look at that picture.
Wow. And guess what? How many masks do you see?
Hey, short on masks and tight on people.
What social distancing guidelines do you see implemented here? I think, the other part that would be interesting for me is I want to look at the policy that they released about their guidelines and how they were going to be handling school and compare it to what I see now and have them justify that, right? That's a normal school day pre-COVID.
Yeah, it looks normal. Business as usual.
Yeah. There it is, folks. It's out there. You see it. Let's talk about it. The chat lines are open. Let's go. Let's get your comments in. Let's deal with this. This is where we are as we send our kids back to school, as parents, educators go back to school. And as parents with college kids, as a lot of times you're sending them away to school.
Yeah. A lot of kids have been asked to report to our campus, especially if they're on scholarship.
Here we go. Let's see what the family is saying here.
Yeah, no mask. I mean, unbelievable. That picture. I agree with you, Misha. I'd be somewhere fearful too.
Yeah, because I'm sure the teachers didn't even want to come back.
Yeah.
This was not their idea of coming back from summer break. I keep saying this because I don't think we have realized that we're still in a pandemic. Look, forget what you heard, forget what you see. We are still in a pandemic, people.
But check this out. Not only are we in a pandemic, we're about to experience another food shortage, Lysol wipes, and generic Lysol wipes about to be out of stock until 2021. So what does that tell you? We don't have a vaccine yet. We got trials going on, but And on the other hand, you still have leadership saying that children can't be infected. Well, we know that's not true because we just looked at an article that said it's already 100 in quarantine. And Corinth is not that big of a school district. So, and then you had Harvard coming out, the Harvard doctor coming out talking about the perils that Mississippi is under.
Yeah, I mean, they call Mississippi. In fact, Mississippi has been making the headlines for what you don't want to make the headlines about. Let's just let's just be honest, right? Let me see if I can play this, because again, I want to bring our attention to some things that we're seeing. Let me see if I can. All right.
Well, after you play that, I want to talk about this because this is what we have been saying.
Okay, here we go. Let's check this out.
We're reopening schools and that the coronavirus is now in full swing. And some that have already reopened are really a preview of the challenges ahead. A 15-year-old student in Georgia says that she has been suspended from her school. Why? After posting a photo of a crowded hallway between classes. Hannah Waters put up the image you're seeing right now on Twitter. It shows kids who are jam-packed in the halls of North Paulding High School, and she says many were not wearing any masks. The Paulding County Superintendent sent a letter to the community saying the photo is really out of context, writing this: class changes at the high school level are a challenge when maintaining a specific schedule. It is an area we are continuing to work on in this new environment to find practicable ways to further limit students from congregating. Students are in this hallway environment for just a brief period as they move to their next class. He went on to say, there is no question that the photo does not look good, and that wearing a mask is a personal choice, and there is no practical way to enforce a mandate to wear them. Hannah, you went to school. You saw the crowds in the halls. You saw there were a lot of masks. You took the picture. Hannah, why did you choose, or why did you want to post this image?
I took the photo initially after seeing the first school photo taken by someone else go online as well, and got picked up by some media coverage. And I took it out of mostly concern and nervousness after seeing the first piece of school.
So what were you so concerned and nervous about?
I was concerned for the safety of everyone in that building and everyone in the county, because precautions that the CDC and guidelines that the CDC has been telling us for months now weren't being followed.
And Hannah, what is shocking to a lot of people is that here you are, you're a sophomore now, right? And you've been suspended. And why? The school told you that you violated the code of conduct for using your phone and posting to social media, but you say you didn't violate the rules. Why not?
I violated 3 of the code of conduct policies. One of them saying that I use my phone during instruction time and that I use it in the hallway during class change, but it also says that students 9 through 12 have permission to use it. The second one that they said I broke was using my phone during school hours for social media, but I posted the photo onto Twitter after school during dismissal, at the end of dismissal. And then the fourth one I did break. It was the one about filming students and posting it on social media platforms.
Do you regret doing any of this?
I'd like to say that this is some good and necessary trouble, so I don't regret this because it needed to be said.
Good trouble is a good thing, they say. CNN has also reached out to your school, by the way, Hannah, but we haven't heard back. But the superintendent did send out that message to families, and he said that the photo is just out of context and that students are only in the hallway for a really brief amount of time. Does that line up with what you've seen? Is it really that brief of an amount of time that these kids are passing, that your classmates and student body are passing each other like that?
We have about 5 minutes to go through class change. Some of us go from all the way in the front of the building to the second floor to the opposite side of the campus. So those 5 minutes we spend like speed walking all the way to class, and we pass so many people in the hallway. We pass people who are seniors, we pass freshmen, we pass teachers, we pass staff, we pass everyone in that building. My biggest concern is not only about me being safe, it's about everyone being safe, because people behind every teacher, student, and staff member, there's a family, there's friends, and I just want to keep everyone safe.
Well, there you have it, Liz.
There you have it.
Now I want you to quickly jump to these other two so we can get through it, because I feel like this drives that on home.
All right. Well, I will get the other two while you.
You'll see. This next one is first week of school. We have a teacher who had to self-quarantine. That teacher is dead.
Whoa.
So if you think it's a game, people, it is not. This is 22 hours ago. Lafayette. This is what we were afraid of all along when we were imploring people to take a look at the policies, because it's impossible to be ready to bring people back into these school buildings. You can't do business as usual, because when you do, people end up sick, like in quarantine, or in this case, sick, quarantine, and dying from COVID-19. And then the second one is just Dr. laying out, and you don't have to play it, but he's just laying out the fact that the Mississippi numbers are too high for us to be even considering putting these kids back in school. And our mayor, our governor, our representatives, they fighting down there about how things should be administered with money. Meanwhile, you got people telling them, hey, look out for these kids. And he passes a mandate that only affects a portion of the population. Are the Hinds County or Panola County kids more important than the rest of the state? I think not. But he's trying to use a sliding scale based on where the numbers are high, which is the same, it's a pie in the sky argument. The numbers are high across the state. You don't think people that would live in Hinds County go into Rankin County and into Madison County?
Sure.
Come on, man. Quit playing with these people's lives. Because see, now we have empirical evidence starting to come in. From one of the districts that jumped and decided we're gonna go back. We're gonna be a super district. We're gonna go on back. So now you got 100 kids in quarantine. If you got 100 in quarantine, how many is that really? What's the real number?
Well, now, sir, you're about to get in some good trouble. Look, here's the reality. In case you guys haven't seen the latest numbers, because you know I'm gonna always hit you with the numbers. Mississippi is not a very populated state.
A lot of land, not a lot of people.
Land, not a lot of people. 21 or 22% of the population in Mississippi is infected with the virus. That's more than anybody.
3 feet high and rising, son. It's like old school De La Soul. It's 3 feet high and rising.
I don't think we understand the magnitude of that. So here's what they're saying: as populated as New York is, there's a greater percentage of people in Mississippi that are infected with the virus than New York.
Yeah.
As populated as California is, there's a greater percentage of people infected with the virus in Mississippi than California, and by a substantial amount, might I add you. No matter how populated Texas is, There's a greater percentage of people in Mississippi that are infected with the virus than Texas.
Hey.
Mississippi is still burning, y'all, for a different reason, but it's burning. And the reality is, I am going to keep yelling, right? Wear the mask. Wear the darn mask. Do it for me. Just wear the darn thing.
Not only that, I mean, if we be real, and I know this is not something that they want to hear, but we need to consider the benefits of having everything open. Now, I understand that hits a lot of people in the pocket, including us. But at this rate, where are we going to put these people? We're out of hospital beds. How are we going to help the people that get sick? You got refrigerated trucks to help store bodies. I mean, at a certain point, we're having the common sense. I guess it's not that common. I don't know, man. It's disturbing. It is disturbing.
I am. Ooh.
It's enough. It's enough to make you pause.
Yeah, indeed it is. It is. It is. I know you've probably seen this going around the web of the lady that went to the DMV that just refused to wear a mask and was asking about what does your occupancy permit say in terms of how many people you can have in the building. I'm just so over it. I'm like, just wear the mask. I stay home.
Here's the thing. You're always going to have people who are contrarians. And you need that. You know? But if your contrariness, if your stubbornness, and at this point, if your ignorance is going to get somebody potentially killed, go sit down. Put a mask on. Social distance. Wash your hands. But it's become political, and they're doing things for a point when, what is the point? If people are dying, if people are being infected, what's your larger point?
I'm just right there with you. Let's go see what the family's saying, because I'm speechless at this point. I mean, I'm really.
Let me see what they're saying. Let's see.
There's no way educators can enforce social distancing, monitor the wearing of masks, keep their classrooms sanitized, and teach. The bulk of the day will be focused on safety. At the end of the day, it's simply not a smart move to send students back to class. This heightens the risk of spreading the virus. Indeed, I agree. Let's see here. Lisa says teachers are updating wheels. That's, it's a. You're in a serious state when teachers are updating wheels to go back to school.
Well, I mean, it's hazardous. It's hazardous to their life and their liberty. Now they chose.
I wonder if they're getting hazard pay. I don't think so.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Well, at least Cuomo has had some success and shown that he has concrete plans and is proactive. In Mississippi, we just doing a whole bunch of empty rhetoric. So I don't want to put up a mandate because it's gonna make people not wear masks. How does that sound?
I mean, it's just amazing to me. I'm just. Hmm. All right. Let me see here. More. Let's see. Let me scroll through, get some more here. Y'all see, if you see, like, I'm just kind of speechless today because I am so over the apathy that I'm seeing. Just.
That's cold, man. That's cold. You're asking these teachers to put themselves in harm's way, put their families in harm's way. And you're asking families to send their children into harm's way. And this is the best you can come up with. And some of these places still, believe it or not, talking about extracurricular activity. The extracurricular activity at this point is living and not contracting COVID.
That's enough of a juggling act in its own.
All right. That's Olympic level activity just to survive and avoid COVID. And you hear these stories all the time, people doing everything they possibly can not to contract because they have pre-existing conditions and what have you. And next thing you know, not only do they have it, they're gone.
Well, I'm going to echo the words of my wife. Not mine, not on my watch.
Yeah. Gotta be smart, people.
Because here's the reality. Just a question to all parents, that, and listen how I phrase this, because I want to be clear. To all parents that have the choice, meaning you got a way to make it happen. To all parents that have the choice to send their kid to school or come up with an alternative method, and you decide to send them to school anyway. To you, I just have a question. Are you okay? Or will you be okay if something happens and you know the liability and responsibility is on you because you made the call? That's it. And if your answer to that is I'm okay with that, then so be it. But that's my question. Because this is not a matter of if, this is a matter of when. It's not a matter if it's gonna happen. When.
That's right.
All right. So I got people. This one is I have wrestled all week and last week with the idea that I never thought I would see a day in my lifetime where kids or safety was a political issue. They have always been off the radar for politics. But now here we are where kids and safety are political. That's not a political situation.
It is.
That's a situation of humanity.
Yeah, but humanity starts at the very tippy top. And I don't like to talk politics much, but I'm gonna say humanity is not the phrase du jour at the White House today.
All right, I'm going to put a question in the chat. Family, I want to hear from you. Here it is. Here's the question. What decision are you making regarding sending your kids to school? I want to hear you.
Things to consider. Things to consider. I mean, and I get it, If I were working from home, then maybe I could see it a little differently, but I'm out there on the front line every day, and I see how reckless some of these people are in these places of business, and they're adults. So can you imagine putting that type of burden on school-age children?
Yeah, I mean, listen. Oh, and can I just vent for a second?
Go right ahead.
Listen, workers at restaurant, do me a favor. This is to you. I wish I had I don't have a mask in it. You're not wearing a mask if I can see your lips.
I know what you're about to say, brother. Oh,
You're not wearing the mask if I can see your lip.
Or if I can see your nose.
And you're not wearing the mask properly if I can see your nose.
That's right.
Just had to get that out. Just had to get that out, man. I am, whew, that one right there. I saw one so bad the other day. I said, you might as well take it off because that's not doing you or me any good.
I ain't doing nobody no good. I mean, but imagine, I've been telling you this since the beginning of the pandemic. Some of the courts are business as usual. They made some modification, but it's dangerous. You're bringing people in closed spaces, and we know it's airborne. You can't account for all those variables. And Iris, I think that is very true. These kids need school for their social development. But they can develop socially next year when we're alive. You know?
See that?
Yeah, I see it. I think what Iris is saying is, just like we adults need our social outlets, school is part of school development, and you know this, Les, because we went to school together all our lives. Part of your growth as a young person is your circle of friends. How you deal with problems when somebody bullies you, when somebody's playing a dozen, how do you respond? What's going on? But we're in a time when we have to sacrifice a little bit in order to save a lot. Because I don't care how much better you feel about your social behavior. If you get sick, it's a chance you may not be able to socialize at all.
That is true. Charles got one for you.
Hey, Ken. Yeah. That's also a problem because they have special needs. They have individualized education plans, and it's no good way to meet that need. Hey, mama. So I agree. I agree. It's a conundrum. But those are the type of things we should have been working on in March, April, May.
Yes, since the pandemic started, since you went home in the first place.
We should have been working on that instead of, but they turned it into a political football, take the money or give us the kids. And that's why we spend so much time talking about these issues, is because we want people to circulate this out in the community so parents know that they need to be vocal. In the words of the great Baxter White, it's almost too late because it's time for school to start now.
Oh, I got one for you. Iris, we got to talk about this one. So,
man, go on. You gonna make me say something inappropriate. My mama is on this show. Look, hey, mama, I'm not gonna say it, but quit playing with me, son. Quit playing with me. I knew that would get you one better than that. Let me see if I can find it. And you're not gonna believe this.
Look, at this point, nothing shocks me. Here's the thing. I had, there was another a parent, and I'm not gonna call a name, but just a parent, somebody that I think pretty, I got a level of respect for, and they just told me a decision they were making, and I just was like, not expecting that. I was like, what? you doing what now? So I'm not shocked anymore because we are seeing decisions made. And I think the reality, it goes back to that question I asked. If you can answer that question and you're okay with saying, hey, I take that liability, it's on me. Hey, I got nothing else to say about that. But for me, No, I can't live with myself knowingly putting my child in danger that I know is on the other side. This is not if. This is I know the danger that's on the other side, and I'm going to knowingly put my child in danger. Now, to me, that's negligence. I can't go that route.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You have people going so far as to say that masks are devil worship in Greenwood, Mississippi. Someone wrote in that they're using mask mandates and curfews to take away churches, and that they wore masks in devil worship, and that's what we're doing right now. You're always gonna have these far-fetched ideas out there and conspiracy theories.
Always.
But follow the science on this one. The science says you can cut transmission by up to 60% if you wear a mask and I wear a mask. What else do you need to know?
Yeah. So let me put it to him in another way that may resonate. All right. So here are the odds. If I came to you and I said, Charles, I got a plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't you have zero risk involved, and if I'm successful, it's gonna get you 60 grand, 60 G's, 60. You got your 60. You have no risk involved. But then I also said I have another option of a plan that will get you 600, but you have 100% risk involved. And of that 100% risk, the statistics show that 90% are against you. So you got a 10% chance of me being successful. Now the reward is big, 600 G's versus 60. But the chances of me being successful, the risk of me being unsuccessful and doing damage to you are 90%.
Here's my answer to you on that. Start reading the obituary page of your local paper and see how many people played those odds. They got headstones now. Play with it if you want to. Your favorite comedian, Bernie Mac, said, "Kick it." You know what I'm saying? Do it. You know what I'm saying? Do what you want to do now. But just know you playing with your life and mine, and I don't appreciate it.
No, I don't. And I think the reality is this, and I'm not talking to those of us who are, because then I also had on the other side a person challenge me. And look, I'm not going to back down from it. We're going to say what we say. We speak the truth here as we see it. But they said, well, here was the question they hit me after our show last week. And they were like, but look, and so you talking about wearing masks, but that's just a violation of my rights. Mm-hmm. So I listened. I said, go ahead, speak your piece. And they went on to say that if they saying the problem they have with wearing masks, they didn't say nothing about the science of it. They didn't try to give me the articulation that it did something detrimental to your breathing. They didn't give me that. What they said was, and this is, you tell me if this is crazy. Mm-hmm. They said, because if I wear a mask for an extended period of time, the circulation will cause me to age faster. And so I've put too much work into my appearance to be prematurely aging.
What?
You know what? I could, that right there, I almost was sitting there, what does that have to do with life and death? Like, I don't even know what the science is on that. I had nothing for that. I'm just like, okay. In fact, here was my response. Okay, I understand. Just stay away from me.
brother. You got all types of masks out there. Get you a pretty mask.
All right, let's see what the audience is saying here. Let me get to another comment. All right. I'm coming. I'm coming.
That's right. That's all I'm saying. Now the options you have are many. One, cut down transmission by 60%. Help the United States get its footing back. Always running around talking about make America great again. Hey, if you want it to be great, wear a mask. Let's row the boat together instead of fighting each other.
Look,
I want to talk politics a little bit.
go for it.
I really do. I really do.
Now, let me say this. You know, we normally do not talk politics at all, but I think we're in a time where last week we paid tribute and homage to John Lewis and Charlie Evers and Reverend C.T. Vivian. I think it's time. This calls us to rise to what John Lewis challenged us to do, which is get in some good trouble. So my brother, I say get in good trouble, go for it.
Well, here's my thing. Now, we have a pretty savvy audience. I just want to know what people think about Republican operatives helping Kanye West get on the ballot in Wisconsin, Iowa, and some other places. Now,
here we go.
George Bush was famous for saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on. He couldn't quite finish it. So, one, I want to know what you think about that. Two, do not be fooled. Kanye West is not a serious politician. He is a genius at making music. From a policy perspective, it will be a disaster. He has zero chance of winning. But what he does have a chance to do is take away just enough votes for those people who are not paying attention and get us back the same president that we have, who is, by the way, killing people by not being a leader.
You know what? Look, I'm going to go old school on you. When I heard that and Kanye said that, here was my thoughts. I can't remember the name of the song, but I can remember the beat. I think it was Trick Daddy's song. Baby, shut up. You know that song? that's what came to mind.
Yeah.
That's exactly what came to mind.
I mean, Kanye, well, there are, Kanye is some of his beats, especially the early stuff and some of the late stuff. I mean, he's a musical genius. But what he doesn't need to do is split the vote. But since he can't see that, we got to see it for him. Yeah. I mean, it's plain as day. They're trying to split the vote. We say distraction. We do say distraction. But guess what? Republicans are very good at winning elections.
They are very good.
So what looks like a minor distraction right now is going to be a problem in September, October, and November. Kanye West is going to be a problem, y'all.
Let me say this. Republicans are very good at winning elections. But on top of that, this president is a mastermind at marketing and getting the audience that he reaches persuaded to take the action that he wants them to take. Let me just take you back 4 years ago, 5 years ago, he enters the race. There's 17 other people, lifetime career politicians. He wins the nomination out of all of them. It comes from nowhere. Don't take him lightly. Don't take him lightly. We have to go vote. We have to go.
That's what I'm saying. Now, you fooled us first. That's what I mean when I say 4 years ago, you fooled me once.
Mm-hmm.
He can't win. He did the improbable. He is a mastermind at the dark arts. The very thing that you think is but very funny, it makes me lose sleep at night. Hey, Tiffany Clayton, they are trying to play us. They are trying to play us because one, you get just enough. Now you look at how many votes he won by in Michigan. If you can repeat that, then he's president again. But you put on top of that he's messing with the Postal Service by cutting funding. You put on top of that, we got a pandemic and people may not want to stand in line. So that may automatically cause the vote to be suppressed. And then you have a rollback on the civil rights law. So you don't have those voter rights protections that you used to have. This is another perfect storm. At a time when 2020 does not need any more storms. We need a little sunshine and just a little bit of rain to make the grass grow. So what I'm telling you is they putting together a whole bunch of stuff that just looks crazy, crazy, crazy. It's funny. Kanye, everybody know Kanye can't win, but Kanye can cause just enough havoc for the person they want to win.
Yeah, no doubt.
All I'm saying is wake up. At the end of school days, wake up.
I agree. I mean, we pay attention, get to the polls. So speaking of that, right, we're talking about the polls. Plan your day off right now for election day.
Go ahead and get your application.
Right now, reach out and encourage people you know that are capable of voting to register to vote. That deadline is coming faster.
Yeah, get your information on how to get your application to vote by mail.
I don't trust that mail thing. I know if you got to do it by mail, do it. But look, if you're able-bodied and you can walk in and vote, go vote.
That's fair. That's fair.
If you can't,
but it's a lot of
get it in the first day.
Right. But my thinking around that is, I believe you're absolutely correct. Go to the polls and vote. But for those who have autoimmune issues,
right,
for those who are elderly and highly susceptible, for those who have pre-existing health conditions that put them at risk, you want to get your application situation together so that you can drop that thing in the mail. You know how mail works. I mean, we stayed on a rural route. For those of you that don't know, rural route. You know, hey, our mail used to take a little while, but if you do it in a timely fashion, you still can get it. I once ordered a pocket knife from Iran. Well, I know it can be done. It was in the back of the Boy Scout magazine for $5. Mama, you probably didn't know nothing about that, but hey, I did it just to see. I got a pocket knife from Iran.
Man, back in the days, it probably took them a month to get to you.
But what I'm saying is, I did it in a timely fashion for what I needed it for. Hey, I had it.
I just want to put this up. Georgians, Iris says, you have no excuse. Early voting, no line, no wait. Same thing in Texas. Look, Governor of Texas just extended early voting by 15 days. Go vote.
That's right.
And here in Texas, I know in the Dallas area, you can go to any polling place. You don't have to go to your own during the early voting period. So you can go to any polling place. So go to the one with no line that nobody know about. Go there. That's what I'm doing. Go.
Meanwhile, that sounds really good. Sounds really good. See that mom don't play? She don't play? She already mailed her application. That's what I'm saying. We got to get this stuff done right now.
Right now.
But look, meanwhile, Kentucky, Mississippi, North Carolina, woo, we got problems with how we vote. You know, in Mississippi, you got to have a reason why you got to vote by mail.
Oh.
So y'all, I'm telling y'all now, get your reasons together. If you need to vote by mail, go and get that stuff together.
Huh. Look, that's why I say start early, because
it's a whole different voting reality. It's a whole different voting reality. So we got a plan for what the reality is. No line.
I'm gonna tell you this. Here's another one I call this. Listen, if you're in a state that has electronic machines, when you click that review to review your votes, double check that and make sure that what you see is actually what you selected. There's been some problems.
So you going Independence, Ohio, from Scandal? Huh?
I am.
Okay, Olivia Pope style. I got you.
I'm just saying. You make sure that it's showing what you clicked.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Very important. Very important.
Because once you hit submit, It's counted then
Yeah,
because
very
you
important.
reviewed it and then you hit submit. So technically, they gave you a chance to see it. So look,
Yeah, I just want us to be savvy and to spread the word because we have a tendency to wait to the last minute. And this is every 4 years they say this is the most important election of your lifetime. Well, here's what I'm gonna tell you. Look at 2020, January to August, and decide if this is the most important election of your lifetime. You've seen killer bees, you've seen a sandstorm, you got a pandemic going, you got tropical storms and hurricanes going, you've seen, oh yeah, by the way, one of those fences down there got blown down. One of those prop fences to keep that Mexico was supposed to build.
all right.
Yeah, it blew down in the storm. The whole little section blew down.
Oh, but wait a minute. That wasn't a wall. The wall is supposed to keep people out.
I can't make it up, man. I cannot make it up.
Man. We are listen, we having fun, guys, but this is a serious issue. We know that our family, you guys always handle business. We know you're gonna do what you're supposed to do, but encourage others. Use your area of influence and get others to poll. And look, don't let transportation be a reason. Get somebody to the poll.
Is Angela on today?
Angela, are you out there? Let us know. Hit a comment if you're on.
Angela does some investigative reporting up in the Delta. And so I just wanted to pick up brain on voter registration numbers and see if she had any information on it. If not, we'll set that up for next week.
Yeah, we'll set that up and have her on the show.
Yeah, the Mike magazine. If you check her out, she does good work.
And you can find her on Facebook at the Mike magazine. That's the MIC, right? Magazine.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So good stuff. Let me get a couple more comments in here.
Yep, it's a matter of life and death. So please vote. While you looking at comments, what's your impression of these? What's your impression of these NBA games with the virtual fans?
It's about like my impression of baseball with the virtual fans. I mean, look, I think on one hand, right, it gives sports fans something to see, some sense, so it does help.
Yeah.
But so it's some form of, it's something. It's better than nothing, right? But it's not basketball we all know and love, but it's better than nothing. But it's different. Everything is different right now. So it's something. But to the extent of sustainability, I think it's great. It helps them finish the season, which is what they're trying to do. But it's got to be tough for the players. It's got to be tough. I mean, with no fans, they, just being an athlete, you feed so much off of the fans. I don't know, man. I mean, you're more of the basketball fan than I am. So what's your take on it? Have you watched any?
Strange. I saw Chris Bosh sitting in the stands. I saw Paul Pierce sitting in the stand. I watched a little bit of highlights, but it just didn't do. It just didn't do. It just didn't do for me.
Yeah, I watched baseball, and
I did see Judge hit like a 468 foot home run.
Yeah. But
I'm not a Yankees fan, but I'm sure if Chris Neely is watching, he really enjoyed. He really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give you an album title. In my last little few minutes, I'm talking a little pop culture. I'm gonna give you an album title to share with our good people. Something that I think.
You see what I said about you in basketball?
Yeah, no, I'm not watching basketball right now. For personal reasons. Y'all check out this young brother, Shabaka. Shabaka and the ancestors, the wisdom of the elders. I'm in the vinyl, but young boy is nice. He's nice. and his ancestral chants and the way he's doing some new wave stuff with the music. I think old and young might enjoy it. So Liz, if you'll put that up just so they can see it. And
Which one?
At the very bottom, it's just the title. I didn't see how to pull the album part.
Oh, okay.
Well, here, I'll send it to you this way. If nothing else, check it out for the artistic beauty. Here you go. Just so you can see how beautiful that is. And it sounds just as good as it looks.
There's nothing to play here.
No, I ain't saying nothing about playing it now. We don't have no copyright. Come on now.
I thought you had a sample or something.
No, I'm not doing that now. No, sir. I want you to put it up.
I wasn't going to actually play it, but I was going to see if I could slide that one in on you.
No, sir. I wanted the people to see how beautiful the album art is. You know what I'm saying? Willing by the Elders, and we're sent here by history. That's his latest album, and he's a young guy, but he is uber talented, and it sounds just as good as it looks.
So Charles, as we come up here and we end the show on our last minute or so, what are your final words for everyone? Because we've talked about it. We're going back to school. The reality is back to school is here. From the way you sit, just from a legal standpoint, just from a parent, what are some things that we need to either put in our thought processes, or what are some of the things we can do as we have to make these tough decisions?
I'm gonna give you a couple things. First, my watchword for back to school is vigilance, because you've done it, I've done it. I'm pretty sure other parents on this call, Tiffany, others, we get that big packet of paperwork and we just go down through there signing. Don't do that this time. Read everything, just in case they try to get you to waive and assume the risk of your child getting COVID-19. You want to know where the district stands on that. Also, you still have time to look up the policies and look at what the alternative learning approaches are in your district. And thirdly, use your voice. We are most powerful when we use a collective voice. That means we get to engage the school board and let them know, hey, look, this is the way we think it should be done. And not because of a willy-nilly approach, but let's actually sit down and plan out the 2 or 3 things that we need to see in order for safety to be heightened.
Well, Charles, one last thing, family. I do want to, it would be remiss of me. We've had a very, very, very special week happening here at Urban Law, because this happens to be the birthday week of our managing partner, Charles. It's been a good week, man. What's up, birthday boy?
Thank you, sir. I made one more trip around the sun. I thank you and all of the staff for helping me celebrate, and thank you.
Well deserved, man. Well deserved. I know what you're gonna tell me the same thing you always tell me since we're in the pandemic, when I say what you got going on this weekend. I already know what your answer gonna be.
Absolutely. Absolutely nothing. Hey, no. Stop it right there, buddy.
It's like when they hand the mic to Russell Simmons at the end of their comedy jam. He said the same thing every time, no matter how much they try to butter him up. So I knew what you were gonna say.
Yeah, no.
Man, we appreciate you. We appreciate all you do. Of course, the whole family here at Urban Law. You guys give him some birthday love. And as he celebrates inside, at home, being safe. Social distancing, masks. I better not catch you nowhere with no mask, sir.
Bruh, I sit inside this office with no mask on. But I was social distancing before that was even a term. I don't fool with people like that. I love all the people, but I like to keep my bubble.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, with that being said, let me just put some of these up. You got a lot of love here. Let's see.
Thank you.
Trying to get them. And of course, Mama. Oh, she said 2 year. Ooh.
Yeah.
2-year-old. Whoa.
Yeah.
As always, we care about all of you. We want you to stay safe. I know we hammer, but we've got to keep hammering as long as we're losing lives. We can't get those back. And we definitely want you to be around. We want to be around. So let's continue to be diligent in our efforts. And even with our loved ones that are really on the ball with it, and we get frustrated sometimes because they hold us accountable, myself included, hey, know they're doing it for the right reasons to keep you around. So just take it. Do what they say, make the adjustment, and live. That's my last words. So I say, have a great weekend. Charles, again, happy birthday. Have a great weekend inside, man, and enjoy a good cigar on me.
On you?
Yeah, on me, man.
All right.
I figured you would enjoy that.
Yeah.
You guys be safe. We'll see you next time.
Leslie and I have known each other since early childhood. We grew up on the same country road in Mississippi.
I think why we're good for the community of Mississippi is because we're a product of this community. We are just two country guys, and we were embedded with what I call the diamonds of good character.
Come, join the family, and help us build the community.